Call this meeting Fayette County Commission order. We'll start with pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You all have a copy of the minutes of preceding meetings. Any additions or corrections?
Mr. President, there are no additions or corrections. I move the minutes be accepted as presented. Second.
Been moved and seconded, the minutes be accepted presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have department head reports. Mr. Corum?
Good morning.
Morning.
Full house in here.
Come just to see you.
That's what I thought, you know, it's all right. We've been out doing a lot of ditch work right now. Got a lot of roadways, the edges are giving away. So we've been kind of stabilizing the bank with some riprap and doing the best we can to try to save the roads. Been grading and rolling our gravel roads. Been trying not to put gravel down on them. At this time of the year, if you put fresh gravel down, it ain't gonna lay. If you go out plowing, it comes right off. So if there's any really bad holes, we'll fill them in. But other than that, we can't really put gravel down because we'll end up losing it when we're plowing. Been patching, been doing a lot of patching, a lot of holes going up here and there. The plumbing and the wiring and all that's done down there. The building just ain't got the floor poured. They ran the water up underneath the ground and stuff, but the floor ain't been poured yet.
That building's supposed to be in this week, right?
Yeah, we've had 2 or 3 good days. They're supposed to have started on that, I believe it was the 12th, but it wasn't down there, so I don't know what the holdup is. We got more ditch work to do, so we're basically focusing on that. We'll keep doing that until snow flies, which we hope it don't snow this year.
Right.
Other than that, there ain't really, we'll just keep busy on ditches. That's about it.
Richard, are we storing a couple of trucks out in the fire department?
Yeah, we talked to,
How's that worked out?
It's been working out pretty good. We try to get them down there before the storm comes instead of leaving it down there. Because they have a lot of things goes on down there, I guess, throughout the week, or I don't know what.
Right.
So we try not to take the room away from them if we don't have to.
Right, okay. But we do have a place to get them in. At any rate, a couple of them.
Yeah, we're in good shape. We'll be fine.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Bill Gray, Maintenance Department.
Morning.
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 I've been working on contracts, service contracts for heating and cooling for all the buildings. Our contracts are coming up in January, well, they're coming up last December for renewal. And I've been working with Irish Mechanicals out of Indy, Johnson Controls, of course, and Myers Mechanical. I've cut these contracts as far as I can cut them. I've took out a lot of visits. Last year, our contract with Johnson Controls was $24,394. And I cut it this year to $16,905. I've cut out a lot of their service visits. We're doing a lot of in-house service ourselves. So,
Good.
Irish Mechanical was the only one compared to them. The actual contract was $12,800 for Irish Mechanical and $12,785 for Johnson. But Irish does no controls for the jail. Metafis controls, they can't do that. So with Johnson's doing Metafis controls, it was $4,120, which brought it to $16,905. So we don't have to move on this today.
Okay.
We can do it first of the year.
Okay.
I just wanted to make you aware of it, and I'll get this information to you before we do that. The only other thing I had was the steps out front. I'm getting bids on it. We can't get no contractors to give us any concrete work. Was that Seminole?
Smirelli.
Yes, Morelli. I can't read that. Morelli. He give me a bid of $5,269 to replace the steps totally. Put handrails up and take out the old steps, put new steps in.
That's the same fellow we had.
That's the
out
same-
here, and he's
yeah,
the
the
only
same
one
company
that can get to
that
do
put
it.
the front
Tried
step.
2 years to get.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, nobody else will get back with me on
I would
concrete
suggest we
work.
go ahead and have those steps fixed and get them, because they're kind of dangerous out there, and the insurance company wants them fixed.
Yeah.
So not really, that bids for do it in the spring sometime, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I didn't take motion to go ahead and award the contract to Smith, run it for, what was 58, huh?
It was $5,269.
Mr. President, because we cannot get any other bids and Smarelli has already been here, Connie on the spot with the bid, I would move that we accept their bid. Second.
It's been moved and seconded, we accept Smurley's bid for the steps out here in front. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'll get this to Debbie, get it signed. That's all I have right now.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
IT Director, Mr. King?
I don't have a whole lot to report from the last 2 weeks. The NVR that we had gotten approved last meeting is not here yet. I'm anticipating hopefully to be here, if not this week, maybe next week or the week after, right before the new year. Mostly been having a lot of little day-to-day housekeeping stuff the last 2 weeks. Odyssey seems to either be improving or they're getting more used to it. I'm not sure which. I know we haven't had as many calls about it the last 2 weeks from the offices that are using it, so I'm not sure if they're troubleshooting it themselves or it's just gotten better. I'm not clear which. The fax line for the Superior Court should be installed, I believe, today, is what I was told this afternoon. Paul Freed requested one because they've been using the fax over in the clerk's office, which, as you can imagine, is inconvenient to run to the other end of the building to fax or receive something. So that should be installed this afternoon. That's pretty much it. Most of my last 2 weeks I've been working a lot over at CPD and installing their new computers, so.
Okay.
Anything for me?
Good
Yep.
job, thank you.
Chris, you got anything for us today?
I just have the ordinance drafted for the speed limit on Alpina Road that you guys contemplated at the November 18th meeting.
Okay.
So there, so I've got the legal descriptions. And that's all I have for you today.
Yeah, you do need to vote, you do need to vote on it. Once that he's presented it.
You need a motion now, Mr.
I would
President.
entertain a motion to approve the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move to approve the ordinance presented by Mr. Sudoff for this change in speed limits on Alpina Road. Second.
And move and second, please approve the ordinance for the speed limit on Alpina Road. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Council representative, we have one?
She had to leave.
She did?
Yes.
No, mine's.
We still got one.
Oh, okay. Didn't see you. Sorry.
Only thing we have is to, Mr. President, to publicly thank you for your years of service to the county. Appreciate it. I know things always haven't been the best with some of the council members, but there are those of us that appreciate your dedication, your hard work. You've been a great example to some of us that are coming in the county government, is your dedication, your faithfulness, and willingness to serve the constituents. And I want to publicly thank you for your service.
All right, I appreciate that.
Thanks, sir.
EDG representative, you got anything for us this morning?
I do.
You did?
Two things. Certainly would urge the commissioners to pass the agreements for the wind energy when it comes up. Beyond that, I would like to, like Mr. Winter, thank you, Barton, for your years of service to Fayette County and for your years of service on the EDG board and for your years of service on the school board and for your years of service on the county council. You are Mr. Fayette County.
Not really.
Melissa Matney, our board president, wanted to be here, but she's out of town and asked I might convey her feelings of appreciation, as she did in our last board meeting to you face to face, but wanted me to reiterate her feelings of gratitude for all that you've done in your service. And likewise, Dr. Hodges asked that I might convey his feelings of gratitude to you for your service, your years of service. And I'd like to, at this time, not take a lot of time from the business that you have here at hand. The important business is to call upon our mayor and say a few words.
I have to go up there. You do whatever you want to. I'd rather approach you face to face. Come right up here.
Would you stand? I don't know if I have the authority to say that, since you're the Commissioner President. I want to talk to you about this crotchety old man. Each morning for 20 years, we've had coffee together. We argue. We usually argue for about an hour. And by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he's back at my office. We have coffee together, and we talk about all the fun we've had. And what I'm trying to demonstrate to you, this man is a man that can talk to you and argue with you, and we can see both sides of the issue, but when we're all done, we still love each other. Over the years, as Dan has said, he has been a county councilman. He served on the school board when the teachers went on strike. He kept his cool. He pulled us through that. He served as a county council person. He served as a county commissioner. While doing all that, he had a bout with cancer. He went through radiation. You never knew it. He never missed a meeting. He was here. This man truly loves Fayette County, and he loves the people. And whether or not you agree with him, he's always for the people. And believe me, I've had a lot of arguments with him. Now, on behalf of the city, he has appraised property for us. He has done us favors. He has gone out on all kinds of occasions to try to negotiate contracts at no cost. And that's the way he makes his living. He's an appraiser. So today, I really believe that Barton Barker has served us well, and I know he will continue to serve us because he surely has something in mind. I think that we deserve to give him a hand of applause.
Thank you. Bestow that upon you and give you our heartfelt thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You noticed there was no money there.
Okay. Is Judge Butch back?
Yes, I'm short, but yes, I'm back here.
Or I can see it. She had something she wanted to do.
Thank
We'll
you.
turn it over to you right now, Beth.
Sheriff, could you please come up here with me? Look on his face, priceless. Thank you for letting me barge in this morning. I appreciate it. Sheriff, I want to present you with this plaque from the courts. And thank you for your service to the courts. You're irreplaceable. A lot of you don't know how much work goes into the court system as far as security goes and planning for jury trials and how much work behind the scenes the sheriff always does. I have always felt physically safe because of the sheriff and his deputies, and he has always gone above and beyond what you would expect of a public servant. He is a public servant in the truest sense of the word. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And that is from Judge Erdl as well, and
I
I
see
know
that.
that
Thank
he
you.
thanks you for your service also.
Yeah.
At this time, I think we'll move ahead to the wind farm proposal. I will turn it over to Rick Hall to explain just what we're about here and what we're voting on and what we're into.
Sure. Thanks, Barton. As you know, for the last couple months, we have been negotiating with NextEra about the terms of a proposed wind farm in the county. And as a result of those negotiations, there's 3 agreements that would reflect the relationship between the wind company and the county if you decide to go forward. And these agreements are consistent with what has been put in place in other parts of Indiana. As you know, I've represented nearly every county that has a wind farm in Indiana, and they have agreements similar to these in place. These agreements are also similar to what NextEra has in place for Randolph County and Jay County. So if you'd like, I'd be happy to go through each of the agreements, the summary of the terms.
I think it would be appropriate, Rick, if you would,
Okay.
so the public would know what we're
The
talking
main,
about.
the main agreement that reflects the relationship between the company and the county is an economic development agreement. And in that agreement, NextEra agrees to build a wind farm of approximately 86 megawatts, which would be 43 turbines, that would involve the investment of between $120 and $140 million in the county. It would also create between 3 and 5 jobs. In order to incentivize that development, the county agrees to do certain things. It agrees to enter into a road use agreement with the company that allows for the use of the roads by the company, because without access to our county roads, it's impossible to build the wind farm, and their use of those roads would not otherwise comply with ordinary restrictions. And I'll get to the terms of that road use agreement in a minute. And then secondly, there's an agreement that the county provide tax abatement, and as you know from discussions earlier this month, that's a critical component to the company's decision to come to Fayette County. That is that there'd be a 10-year tax abatement. The Economic Development Agreement also sets forth other things that the company is going to do for Fayette County. So in it, they're going to make an they agree to make an economic development payment, which is a cash payment to the county that it could use to better the county through either capital improvements, the payment of operating expenses related to those capital improvements, et cetera, things that can advance the county and thereby help economic development. The thought being that when you put in place a wind farm, then in that area of the county, there's not likely to be any job-intensive uses. But this allows you to have some money that you can improve the county that would allow for other creation of jobs, because the county's in a better position. And those economic development payments would be in the total amount of $2,026,000. There'd be $52,000 paid in 2015, and then there would be $282,000 paid each year, beginning with the commencement of construction, and then the 6 anniversaries after that, so seven payments of that 282. So those payments are only due upon the commencement of the construction of the project. If the project never goes forward, then they only have to make the $52,000 payment in 2015. The agreement also provides protection to the county in the event that there's a change in law. So one of the great benefits of this project is that it's a huge influx of assessed value without any corresponding services associated with that. So there shouldn't be costs that are imposed upon the county as a result of this project. Yet you receive $140 million in assessed value, or $140 million in investment that translates to an assessed value that can assist with tax rate relief. There'll be some new additional money associated with that on funds that are rate driven as opposed to levy driven. But you wouldn't want to have a change in law such that this property is no longer taxed at the local level where you get the benefit of that assessed value. So there's a provision in the agreement that provides that if that ever happens, then they will make payments to the county that are equivalent to their taxes that they otherwise would have made before the change in law. So there's the ability to preserve that major benefit for the county. Turning to the road use agreement, as I said earlier, the wind company, these trucks that come in, and you've probably seen them on their way to Randolph County for their project that's underway, are massive. And as a result, the current state of the county roads could not handle these trucks. So the road use agreement provides that they are able to use the county roads for the project, but that they have to upgrade those roads to a condition that's capable of handling these huge weights of trucks that will be using the roads. And then the road use agreement also provides that upon completion of the project, they have to repair the roads to a certain condition that's set forth in the agreement. And the terms of this entire agreement have been looked at by your highway personnel. The terms of it are way beyond me as a lawyer. There's a lot of technical terms that only a highway engineer and superintendent would understand. But they have thoroughly reviewed this agreement, and the terms have been arrived at with their input. So as a result of that, at the conclusion of the project, the roads in that area will be a standard that your highway personnel feel is a very good standard, and you'll have better roads in the area than you have right now. The road use agreement also provides that this obligation to repair the roads has to be secured by a third party. So one scenario that you obviously would not want to encounter is a situation where they start the project and then they run into financial difficulty and they've used the roads and then they have not been able to repair the roads because they've gone bankrupt, or there's just a refusal to repair the roads. So what the road use agreement provides is that prior to the start of construction, you go to a third party surety bond provider, and it has to be of a certain credit quality that's agreed upon by the county, and you get from them security of this obligation to repair the roads. So if they fail to repair the roads, then the county can do it themselves and go to the third party surety bond provider and get those costs paid for. The road use agreement also provides limitations on their ability to use the roads in a safe fashion, and provides fines that if they violate the road use agreement that they have to pay to the county, so that you can be assured that there's not going to be a safety issue from the county's standpoint. Like I said, this has been thoroughly reviewed by your highway personnel, and they feel very comfortable with it. There's many other detailed provisions that I won't go into, but just to give you a flavor, I mean, it talks about how, the depth under which they're going to bore any under roads and drainage improvements, or any wires that have to go under those. I mean, it gets to that level of detail, so it's very thorough. I do want to mention, though, that I've talked about roads with respect to this agreement, but the agreement also covers drains, so that there's an obligation for them to repair any drainage improvements in the village in the course of construction. That obligation is also secured by the third-party security that I described, and it comes with it with a 4-year warranty that stays in place with respect to the drainage improvements, because as you know, as drainage board members, it can be a couple seasons before you identify whether there's a problem with the drain. So this obligation to repair those continues, and the third-party security stays in place for 4 years after construction to ensure that those repairs get made. The final agreement that has been negotiated with NextEra is a decommissioning agreement. And what this agreement does is requires them to take down the turbines if they cease producing electricity for a period of time. This agreement, this obligation of theirs to take down the turbines is also secured by a third party through a surety bond of a sufficient quality that can provide the county with comfort that in the event that they don't take down the turbines as required, because of course one obvious situation where they don't take down the turbines when they're not producing electricity is if they went bankrupt in the future. The company went out of business, they weren't producing electricity, it wouldn't do you very much good to just have a contract with them to say go take down the turbines. So this obligation is also secured by a third party that the county can take down the turbines and then turn those costs into the third party, and the third party is required to pay those expenses. The last thing I wanted to mention was in the economic development agreement, the company also agreed to a 1,400-foot setback. The current zoning ordinance just provides for a 1,000-foot setback from the turbines from residences, and they've agreed, as they've stated publicly, to have a 1,400-foot setback. As you know from other discussions that have occurred publicly, this project is contemplated occurring in up to 3 counties: Fayette County, Rush County, and Henry County. And Henry County has approved these agreements, very similar agreements, nearly identical agreements with NextEra, and signed those agreements, as has Rush County. And Rush County has also approved the tax abatement, so that the Rush County has all its agreements, all its approvals in place with respect to the abatement in these agreements for the project. Henry County is considering the tax abatement tomorrow. So that's the status of the project overall, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Well,
That's it.
sorry for coughing on that. You know, there has been a lot of controversy over this. The commissioners have attempted to ascertain who is right. Some people want them and some don't. We've contacted the places where they have wind farms in Benton County. We went to White County last week. They have 4 wind farms up there, and they're wanting to get the 5th one, and we heard not one negative comment about them. We've had comments about loss of land values. I talked to appraisers up there. I talked to the assessor up there. If anything, land values are increasing. Land values in White County now is $10,000 to $14,000. That's a little bit better than we've got here. Even on small acreage houses on just a lot, they said it didn't decrease the value any. We've heard questions about the noise. We went out to the wind farm. We stood right underneath one of the turbines that was moving, and you couldn't hear a thing. I've heard the wind blow a whole lot harder than the noise that wind turbine was making. So in my judgment, you know, this is a big economic development deal. We do have a chance to get, like I said before, we've turned a lot of things down before. If there's anybody in the audience would like to make a comment, we'd sure be glad to hear it. Does anybody want to, Mr. Irvin?
Mr. President, we had the honor of unloading the turbines for the project north of us. The city produced about $43,000 in income by providing that. We have the pad there, we have the ability to unload those turbines, and we anticipate if this goes through, we will have the privilege of unloading those, and again, the city will benefit from that. Also, the short line railroad that is very important to this county that connects the two major railroads. It provides an income and a source of revenue for that short line railroad, which has now been improved through all the way through the city. And so the short line railroad would benefit, which is a private railroad, but it benefits us because economic development, it's important to have that short line railroad between the main lines. So the city would benefit from this project.
Anybody else wish to make any comments? The other two commissioners wish to make a comment?
I did go to the wind farm last Thursday. We got there an hour early, so we went right straight to the county building, spoke with the assessor. It was, as she said, Mrs. King, Commissioner-elect, had called Benton County, spoken with the assessor there. The assessor told her there were no drop in property values, which is a legitimate concern for people up there. We stood right underneath, we weren't directed. We were told what part of the county to go to. We found a county road, drove on the access road, stood right underneath one of them and held a normal conversation. Matter of fact, like a lot of people, I sleep with a floor fan on in the summertime, and I do it mainly for the background noise. The floor fan's louder than what the windmill is. Those up there, one thing I didn't know, they're in a linear pattern, but they don't have to be that way, but I don't think it influences anything. I had always kept just a little, I wanted to see the windmills. I wanted to see the thing myself before I came to the conclusion. I was always supportive of the idea, but I wanted to see the real thing. And I came away very impressed. As we all know, there isn't anything in life that doesn't have a drawback of some kind. There's no person alive who doesn't have some kind of a fault or whatever. Having said that, I was very, very impressed, and I am supportive of these contracts.
I would like to say that this is a great project for Fayette County, economic development, and it will do great things I think, for Fayette County as a whole and the city of Connersville. I think if people just give them time, there are some opposition against it. I think over time you'll drive by them and not even notice that they're there. I think you'll just get used to them. I think we need this as a community. We've needed a lot of things in the past, but I think this is saying that we're ready to make a change here. So I am in favor as well.
Well, if there's no other comments, I would entertain the motion that we just approve all of the agreements at one time.
Well, yeah, you have a resolution before you, Barton, which recites the parameters of the project, and then it says that you've been presented with, which you have, the forms of the Economic Development Agreement, the Road Use Agreement, and the Decommissioning Agreement. And then adoption of this resolution would authorize the execution of each of these agreements, as well as taking any action necessary to carry out the intent of this resolution.
Right, so the resolution will cover it all.
Yes.
Mr. President, if there are no objections, I will move to accept a resolution to the Board of Commissioners approving an economic development agreement, road use agreement, and decommissioning agreement with Whitewater Wind LLC and certain other matters as presented in the resolution.
I will second.
We've moved and seconded the resolution to approve the wind farm agreements to be approved. Is there any other comments, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I think we'll take about a 5-minute recess. There might be some people here who just come for the Whidden farm discussion and then don't want to stay for the rest.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's call this meeting back to order. We'll go on down the agenda. We'll have our annual bids for, to start with, for the highway department. Does anybody have?
I have them.
Oh.
I have one here from Terry Asphalt Materials. And they are quoting base price of asphalt at time of bid $566. And then they also have a material bid price sheet attached. And they provided all their necessary paperwork. Marathon Petroleum for liquid asphalt.
I'm gonna hand it back, maybe I'll open up and I'll hand it to you.
Okay.
That's good amount.
Okay. Marathon Petroleum. They've listed price per gallon. I don't see one separate price. Is anybody from
Tuesday, bro.
Marathon? Liquid asphalt. Bid from Harvest Land Co-op on fuel. List 87 octane E10 gas at tank wagon price of $1,877 and station price of $1.847. Diesel station price of $2.44.9. Off-road diesel at station 2.292. And then list number 1 and number diesel fuel at tank wagon prices of 3.221 and 2.434. This is from, didn't I just do Harvest Lane?
That's the second one.
Okay.
That one you have there, I had originally a November 28th date.
Yeah.
So I turned that one you just read in as more current price.
I am going to give this back to you.
Well, that's got the bid bond in it.
Okay, so I'll take the cover page
all that.
off of this and combine it for your bid bond stuff.
That was my fault.
Okay, yeah, we had a little mix up on that. This is from New Point Stone, quoting stone prices, number 53 at $765 a ton, number 73 and number 2 at $865 a ton, number 4, number 5, number 8, number 9 at $1025 a ton, number 11 and number 12 at $1120 a ton. Riprap uniform 6-inch at $11 a ton. Riprap graded devetment, $11 a ton. Riprap class 1 6-inch to 24-inch at $13.60 a ton. And riprap class 2 12-inch to 30-inch at $14.10 a ton.
And does that go with that? It was in a separate envelope.
Yeah, that's their bid bond.
Okay.
from CGS Services, quoting materials, gravel, number 1, $9 a ton. Number 2, $8.25 a ton. Number 4, gravel at $10.50 a ton. Number 8, gravel at $9 a ton. Number 9, gravel at, it's hard to, at $9.50 a ton. Number 11, gravel at $10 a ton. Number 12, gravel at $9 a ton. Number 24, sand at $5.75 a ton. Number 53, gravel at $7.75 a ton. 63, gravel at $7.75. Number 73, gravel at $7.50. Bank run gravel at $8 a ton. Screened or washed pit run at $8 a ton. Fill sand at $3.95. Slew sand at $3.25. B borrow at $5.50 a ton, and P gravel at $7 a ton. Cold mixed material bituminous, $889.50 a ton. Liquid asphalt at $750 a ton. And that's their bid. Asphalt materials. They list various asphalt emulsions. I won't read them all, but they have a list if any of the other bidders want to look at their bid. And they provided their required bond. Civilcon for culverts, pipe, and they provide, every year they provide a book that has all of that information and all of their bid in it. If anyone wants to look at any specific pricing on any culverts. And St. Regis Culvert have provided a bid for galvanized corrugated, steel pipe, various sizes and diameters, and gauge. Also their bid. And CPI Supply has a lot of things falling out of their bid. They provided a book with their pipe and box culvert, corrugated. That's it. And that is all she wrote.
Accept the bids.
Except all of it.
This time we need, or entertain a motion that we accept all the bids.
So moved.
And move to second, we accept bids received for the highway department. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we have a bid opening for owner occupied rehab grant.
Okay. Are they bidding one price or?
It's per address, and if you look for bid form B,
Okay, right here,
it
bid
has a
form B.
list. Yes.
Okay. Steve Densel's Total Home Improvement. He's provided a bid for, do I need to read the addresses or reference them? For
You will award them per
property one,
address.
per address? Okay.
So I'll just kind of leave it up to you if you want to read each address.
Okay, for 2602 South State Road 121, bid price of $24,468.50. And they list their earliest start dates and proposed completion dates. We probably have a copy in here for you, Joyce. we can sort that out. If you don't need a copy, we can get a copy in my office before
We'll
you
go
leave.
through that, make sure.
Did not provide a bid for properties 2 or 3. Property 4, 2231 South State Road 1, $4,666.48. Property 5, 5247 South Larry Drive, $28,250.20. Did not provide for number 6, property 7, 2383 South Sunset Drive, $9,814.21. And for property 8, 2642 South State Road 1, $24,593.92. Put that back. From Construction Resources, I'm not sure where they're out of. Richmond, I guess. They provided for 2 properties, property number 5, 5247 South Larry Drive at $29,797.23, and property 7, 2383 South Sunset Drive for $24,103.91. Hopkins Home Improvement, property 1, 2602 South State Road 121, $22,379. Property 2, 7529 South County Road 575 West, $12,484. Property 3 at 5288 South 450 East, $10,102. Property 4 at 2231 South State Road 1, $14,413. Property 5 at 5247 South Larry Drive, $21,465. No bid for property number 6. Property number 7 at 2383 South Sunset Drive, $14,174. And property 8 at 2642 South State Road 1, $22,069.
Could you repeat those, please?
Is this it?
It's starting to run out my ears.
This is from D.O. Corn and Sons. Are they here?
Yeah,
Okay.
back there on your right.
No bid on property number 1, property number 2, 7529 South, 575 West, $12,375. Property number 3 at 5288 South County Road 450 East, $7,950. Property 4 at 2231 South State Road 1, $13,025. Property number 5 at 5247 South Larry Drive, $21,338. No bid on number 6. Number 7 at 2383 South Sunset Drive, $17,710. And property 8 at 2642 South State Road 1, $17,251. Taylor Home Center has provided a bid for only property number 8 at 2642 South State Road 1 at $28,787.
This one, it looks like the same thing, but the first amount on each one is different, so I don't know. 2 separate envelopes. See what I mean?
We have aluminum. Huh?
Aluminum Brothers.
Aluminum Brothers, and they have provided in 2 separate envelopes. 2 separate envelopes. One's supposed to be the copy and one's to be the
It didn't look that way. This was
Yeah.
copied, but that one was not.
I'm unclear. They provided on property number 1 at 2602 State Road 121, they provided on one bid form $17,195, and then on another $15,670 on the same property. And then they also bid, and these ended up being the same, on property 4 at 2231 South State Road 1, $22,055, and property 5 at 5247 South Larry Drive, $27,835. And that's all she wrote. Okay. How do you want to do that, Joyce? Do you want to,
Maybe we should take that and, go to your office and make sure we've got a copy of everything.
that would probably be a good idea.
And we'll leave all the originals with you. What we'll do is we'll go back and we've got to verify the contractors on the blacklist. We will meet with the homeowners and the contractors, and we'll have them, we may have to delete some line items on each property to make them fall within the budget. And then we'll come back to that second meeting in January with our recommendations to the commissioners.
Right, so actually, we don't really need to do anything at this time.
We would take it under advisement.
Right. We would have could make a motion to take them under advisement.
Gentlemen, do you need to leave a business card or anything with this lady, or?
No,
I've
All
got-
your information?
We know each other.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
We need a motion to take all these bids under advisement.
So moved.
Second.
And move to second that we take all the bids for the rehab grant under advisement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay. I'll probably see you after the meeting.
Okay, may I take them?
Yes. She wants to take you all the way. And here are the envelopes down here.
Yes. Should I have to come back in? Sorry.
Oh, that's, no, you don't. You should put that in.
No, these copies, or is this?
This one was the only one that said copies, so I didn't give that one to her, and that's it.
The others, I think, are mixed in there. And then feel free to use our copier to get whatever copies you need, Joyce. Thank you. Okay.
So can you get all this down?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Next item on the agenda is mail. Do we have any mail?
I did have something from where we had a tort claim, and we had received a response from EMC Insurance that that was not anything, that it was on an accident and was nothing that was any fault of the county. So
Okay, good.
it's always a relief.
Did you give that to Brad Wilson,
Do what?
the tort claim?
Yeah, he usually, well, I think he usually gets a copy because we've gotten, okay. I forget the name on that one.
New business, new hires. New hire Superior Court, Amy Reesinger.
Well,
I've come
Judge-elect
Huh?
Paul Freed is
We
doing
got
the
that.
heavy work
We got-
himself.
Yeah,
Head-
how about
Head
that?
duck here, right.
First order of business, and I'll get a letter to this effect for the county, but obviously I'll be resigning from my current county position as deputy prosecuting attorney effective 11:59 p.m. on the 31st of December, because I'll be taking the Superior Court judge's job. And among those who are retiring besides Judge Ertl is Sandy, who's a long-term court reporter up there, as I'm sure you all know, and thanks to her for her great service over the years. And so, in conjunction with the current judge, Judge Ertl, he's in agreement, and I certainly was too, that those who are in the office now, including Angela Gibson and Amanda Wenta, would just slide up one notch in the office task. So that would be Angela Gibson moving into the court reporter's job, which she has done intermittently during Sandy's various illnesses and time off and stuff. and then Amanda would take Angela's job, and then that would leave open the part-time job of the receptionist and clerk's job. So I'm asking this body permission then to proceed with interviewing and ultimately hiring of someone to replace what will be an empty billet in the part-time job in Superior Court.
I certainly don't have any problem with it.
Need motion?
Yes, we do.
Motion to approve the judge-elect's request?
Second.
Been moved and seconded, we approve the request to move both those people up one notch in their positions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Very well, thank you, John.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Betty?
Yes.
New hires for,
Before Paul gets away, did he resign officially? Because I was going to fire him.
yeah, he did.
I was in here earlier, sitting, waiting. You saw that. So I could fire him first.
You resigned as of the 31st. We'll fire him before then, I guess.
No, I'll get all the work I can out of him. I'm here today because we are obviously replacing Mr. Freed, who is moving upstairs with our help at the end of the year. And I've chosen my replacement for that position, and I'm here also to ask not only that I can hire her, but that we can also give her a raise. That position has not had an increase in the whole time that Mr. Freed's worked for us, and that's been about 10 years, I think. Do you, by any chance, did he mention when his hire date was or anything? It's been about 10 years. It hasn't been the whole 12 years we've been in that office, but it's been about 10. And at the time that he came in, we had a grant, a domestic violence grant, a STOP grant, that pays part of his salary. His salary comes from 3 different pools. One of them is the grant, one of them is County General, and one of them is 4D, our child support side. And we've lost about $8,500 or $9,000 from that grant over the years, and it's not guaranteed, and we don't know how much we're going to get for this next year. And we never know until sometime in the fall, and that date varies by a month, I think, range.
The STOP grant?
The STOP grant. So I'm asking, we pay the deputy from the 3 different places. I'm asking for 5,000, was it 5,000 more on the?
On each, the county general and the 4D.
Didn't one end up being 500 additional?
Yeah,
to the-
additional to round it out.
I don't remember which one we put
Of
that
course,
on.
of
Do you?
course, they won't decide that. They can make a recommendation to council.
Okay.
Council will decide that tonight.
And I'm going to appear at the meeting tonight too, but I wanted to appear here and tell you all the plans. I'm putting Gilda Cavanis in that position. She is an attorney who has done private practice, general private practice, and public defender work, and has done a lot of public defender work in this county with us. She's an excellent attorney. She is, I think she'll be a great member of our team. And I will be asking that the salary for her be placed at $37,500 out of the county general and $35,000 out of the 4D, $30,500 out of 4D. Both of those are increases, and that's what I'll be asking for tonight, just to let you guys know. And also, non-election related, one of my staff has decided to go home and spend more time with her children. And so I have chosen a replacement for her as well, and that is Sharon Ling, who was here earlier. I'm going to take her, steal her while stealing's good, I guess. And her salary was figured according to the ordinance and is also on the 144. And her salary comes out of both too. The advantage is that part of this is reimbursable, as you all know, because it's 4D. So we have her salary, half of it coming out of one and half of it coming out of the other. And I signed those and submitted those yesterday, and I'll appear tonight to talk with council too.
Plus, the prosecutor pays back out of pretrial diversion and deferral for that salary too. So it's it kind of supports itself.
Yeah, we are in a unique position, and we're grateful for that. We try to fund ourselves as much as possible so that we're not asking more from the county. I know the county has lots of places that need more. But we try our best to do it through funds that we can sustain ourselves through both the check diversion, the pretrial diversion, the pretrial deferral, and 4D.
I see no reason not to approve the request for the personnel and to recommend to the council that they approve the increase in salary.
I will move to approve her request as far as our recommendation to the council for her request for increases and also for her personnel choices.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, the request be granted. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. There you go.
Thank you. You
Thank
all have a great holiday season.
You too.
Debbie, thank you for your service. Mr. Barker, thank you for
Thank you.
I'll take this time to thank Sharon for, she's been with me for 10 years, and she will be a wonderful asset to the prosecutor's office. Thank you for your service.
New hire for the survey, Mr. Sudoff.
Morning.
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 As you know, John Valentine gave his resignation effective the end of this year as a surveyor and the surveyor secretary in the office. He'd been there 35 years and he's retiring due to mostly health problems. But I've gone through process interviewing several candidates, and I've selected Gina Gamble as the new secretary. She's a 15-year veteran of the jail officer as with the jail, and I had 4 good recommendations from a judge, a sheriff, chief deputy, and a prosecutor for a position. So John's salary would have been about $28,778, and Debbie figured the new salary for Gina would be $25,790, which would be on the Form 144 submitted to council tonight. That's my pick.
What's the wishes of the commissioners?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Been moved, second to approve Mr. Sudoff's request for the new secretary. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Community Corrections Grant. Ms. Cheryl Dudley. Here she comes.
I'm here to ask for permission to file the grant application for community corrections. It's the 2-year grant for the fund years 2015 through 2017 for a total amount of $871,528. I did email the actual grant application to each of you Friday, along with the budget for the same. So I need commissioners' approval to file it, and advisory board gave their permission yesterday.
Well, I would certainly think it would be appropriate to apply to get $871,000. And then we could get it. You know, so we do need a motion to.
I don't know. Motion to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the application for the grant. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Diana Ryan.
She's over there. Can I get her?
Huh?
She's over there with the, she's gonna go get it.
Well, we'll go around her for just a minute then. Purdue University Extension Contract.
I have that. This is just the standard, it is somewhere, it must be somewhere. Only me. Hold on. Here it is. This is for 2015, and this is for the educators, extension educators, and it is in the amount of, let's see what it is this year, and they have it in their budget. Why am I not seeing an amount? This is what pays the salary for Cindy and Amanda, or just partial of it. Shall extend for a period of 1 year from the date specified in the budget. Okay. $40,970, and it's for the contract. We pay contractual services to Purdue for the extension educators.
This is
That requires your signature or the.
approval and
Yes.
signature, and this is an annual deal we do every year. So we need a motion to approve the agreement.
So moved.
Then moves. Second, we approve the extension contract agreement with Purdue. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
She's here. There she is.
Yeah, Diane's here.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
just here today to ask permission on the rehab grants that you just took the bids under advisement. They have to have building permits for all of those properties. There's properties in the city as well as in the county. If it would be possible to waive those permit fees on those properties.
Mr. President, I think that's appropriate myself. If there are no objections, I'll make a motion to that effect.
I think it's appropriate, you know, for all government, okay? You know, it's,
We're working with the city and getting a joint resolution to be put in front of you the first of the year that would waive all
fees such as that.
quid pro quo fees that the city and county may have,
Right.
like the building fees, so people don't have to come every meeting.
And I think that's appropriate.
Well, this grant covers both. We,
Right.
Star Development did one for the city as well one for the county, so.
Right.
I second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded we approve the request for waiver of fees for the housing grant. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
We don't have to do this according to 2015 holiday claimant pay schedule. I haven't seen it.
Well, and I thought that I had already given it to you. First, the holiday schedule is, we just kind of copy it exactly from what the state's holiday schedule is. Kind of makes it easier with dealing with state offices that we deal with. It's 14 days next year, the 12 standard holidays plus primary election and general election next year for the city. Here, you want guys to look at that? Here, I have another one here. The claim schedule is, well, we had the 6th of January. Will they or won't they be paying on?
You had told me that it would be okay to pay that day.
Okay, yeah, it should
That's
be.
fine. Yes.
Okay.
Is that what you were asking?
Yep. Okay. And this is the claim schedule, which will be sent to all county departments when they need to have their claims turned into the auditor's office and on what day, which is basically the dates for the commissioners' meetings on what day you'll approve those. And the third is for the pay schedule for payroll and what dates they need to be into the auditor's office. And there is still, this is something that will have to be handled by the next auditor because next in 2015, the date, the pay date is, let me see, is that on a pay date December 31st, but then that makes it so that it actually falls on the 1st because this year, the first payroll of the year falls on January 2nd. Next year it falls on the 1st, which obviously is a bank holiday, but if you bump it back and pay it on the 31st, then you're paying out of 2015 appropriations, and none of them will have enough money because there'll be 27 pays versus 26. So that is something that's going to have to be worked out. She made it up with December 31st, but all I know for sure is January 2nd, there will be a pay for, won't include all of what was worked in 14. There'll be 3 days left to go into the pay on January 16th. So I do not know how they're going to handle it. I don't know if you do or don't want to approve this schedule now, or you want to wait until, kick that till, in January.
Well, if there's a problem, I'd suggest we just wait till January and we'll figure out what they want to do.
Okay. You and I will not worry about that part.
So we can't approve the others.
You can't approve the holiday and the claim schedule.
Right. If you wish to do that, we need a motion to do that.
Motion to
Approve the holiday and the claim schedule. So that was proposed.
Second.
Been moved and second. We do approve the holiday and the claim schedule as presented, and we'll leave the pay schedule until next month. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Is there any patrons' concerns? We're just about run out of patrons.
I actually, I think, I hate to call this a corporate concern, but I did want to present you from my staff and I, just to you for outstanding vision, dedication, and leadership during your tenure as Fayette County Commissioner.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. That's handmade.
Yeah, that is very nice. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes.
if I can take a moment.
Okay. We got all kind of moments.
On behalf of the other two commissioners other than you and Mrs. Kidd, we would like to present to Barton Barker, Fayette County Commissioner, 2011-2014, in appreciation for your hard work, dedication, and commitment to the people of Fayette County.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're more than welcome. And I would like to say to Mrs. Kidd, who I have known since my hair color was darker, that I have truly enjoyed working with her the last 2 years. She is a absolutely fountain of knowledge, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish her the very best.
Thank you.
Any other patron concerns? If not, we need approval of the claims and the payroll.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and second, claims and payroll be approved. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That being all the items on the agenda, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and second, this meeting be adjourned. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned.